Hey, what is up guys, Seth here and welcome to the Tier 1 Burning Abyss Shadoll deck profile. This is the Mark III variant with the new TCG cards. So if you guys do like this deck profile, please leave a comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into this. This is a competitive deck profile. So we start with Artifact Moral Tech at 3. We get the Blackluster Soldier at 1, of course. We got the Calcab, which bounces set spell trap cards when it's sent to the graveyard. That's at 1. We've got the Sir at 3. I like Sir at 3, it feels natural. The Graph is at 3, of course. The Kree Bandits at 3 because we're running the Shadolls, we're running all these, we want beginning of the end to the hand. That's why we run Kree Bandit, and he's searchable via the Skarm. We've got Necroface at 2. This helps for Masked Heroes. Masked Heroes really is a bad matchup for us, but of course at the same time if we want to banish our Necrofaces, it means that we're always going to win in the whole deck hand advantage sort of game, because you know we've got 60 card deck profile and that is what is won. That I'll explain that we have 60 cards in this deck, so you know Billy Break won a YCS with 60 card deck profiles, so don't even think that just because it's 60 cards it's uncompetitive. It really does work. We've got the Rubik, which is the tuner. He doesn't have a specific effect, but he is a tuner and he can only be used for a Burning Abyss Synchro monster, but he is searchable via Skarm, of course, or Tour Guide, but then he can't be used as a synchro material. So remember that when you use Tour Guide, you can't use the card that you summoned as a synchro material monster, so it makes it kind of useless if you do use Tour Guide for that. We have Skarm at 3, we have Beast at 3, Shadoll Beast, we have Dragon at 1, we have 3 Shadoll Falcon, we have 3 Shadoll Hedgehog and 3 Shadoll Lizard, Squamata, whatever you want to call it. 3 Tour Guide from the Underworld, of course. Allure of Darkness at 1, Foolish Burial at 1, Mystical Space Typhoon at 2, Shadoll Fusion at 3, we have the Soul Charge at 1, the Super Polymerization at 1, the Beginning of the End at 3, of course, Artifact Sanctum at 2, Compulsory Evacuation Device at 1, the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. This is one I'm controversial on. I like kind of running at 1, I see a reason to run it at 1. It does make sense for clearing out back row, and we've got all the side decking we need. Torrential Tribute, if you want to switch it for Torrential Tribute, you do that. Switch it for Typhoon, switch it for the Alik, or whatever you call it, a Lich, I don't know, which will negate, you know, your opponent's face up monster on the field for that turn. We've got 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blasts, of course. We have the Solemn Warning, the Trap Stun at 1, and the 3 Vanity's Emptiness as mentioned before. Now for the side deck, of course we've got the 2 Trap Stuns, the Wiretaps, the Fire Lake, the Torrential, the Chain Disappearance, the Breakthrough Skill, the Mystical Space Typhoon. That is just, you know, tech choice. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking about that, but it is kind of fun. It's fun to see it now and again. The Sanctum Mission was Alika's. He will activate when he's sent to the graveyard. Now, if you try to chain him to something, let's say your opponent activates Moral Tech. Let's say he activates Moral Tech. If you send him to the grave, he will then activate on a separate chain, which means he's going to miss timing to stop this Moral Tech from activating its effect to, you know, pop a card on the field. So therefore, Alik or Elite, a Lich or whatever you want to call him, he is a really crappy card, and he's only good for stopping you know, effects that are continuous, you know, continuous effects that you want to, you know, stop, like for example, let me think, a card that would, you know, a card that would keep its effect on the field, like Archetype Magician. His 2 spell counters could be then removed. So let's say he has 2,400 attack with 2 spell counters, you could just send a Lich or whatever you want to call him to the graveyard and then get rid of those 2 spell counters so he's returned to 400 attack. That's just an example, okay? Or Zen Mains. Zen Mains would then lose his effect to prevent his destruction. So we run the 2, for the extra deck, we run the 2 El Shaddol Constructs, we run the 2 El Shaddol Windows, we run the Arcanite Magician, Black Rose Dragon, Goyo Guardian, the Leo the Keeper of Sacred Tree, of course, with the 2 Virgils, because we're running 2 of the tuners, so 2 Virgils, and he's a very good card. You know, he adds that new thing to the deck where it has its own built-in Phoenix Wing Wind Blasts via monster effect. We have the Dante, Traveller of the Burning Abyss at 2, and the Ghost Trick Alucard, Levier. And for the attack, we need the 3000 attack because of killer and stuff like that, and you know, 3000 attack monsters, we kind of need them. We've got the Acid Golem, and it just helps. It does help because you need a beater. You need an absolute beatdown card, and Acid Golem is that card that you need to run to if you're having problems. Now the thing about this deck is, it's exactly like the other deck, but it has more competitiveness. It has the Sanctums to make sure that, you know, you can always pop your opponent's cards, or you can use Shadoll Fusion to send a light to the grave. It also has the ability to negate opponent's special summons with Vanity's Emptiness, things like that. So it is competitive, it is tier 1, try it out for yourselves, and I hope you guys really do like this video. As always, comment, like and subscribe, and this is Seth punching out.